I welcome you to this one-day national meeting on mushroom cultivation. Basically, I'm I have retired from the Department of Botany. Presently, I'm working in China Deemed University in the Department of Biotechnology. So my presentation would be, some information would be thrown on the biotechnological aspects also. So the slide that you are seeing is, mushroom has botanical space. What does that mean is, mushroom is a fungus which belongs to thallophyte. We call it a thallophyte because the plant body is not well developed. It's simply a thallus. And then it is microscopic also. The mycelia is microscopic. The spores are microscopic. But the fruit body is visible over the surface of the earth or the substrate wherever it grows. So mushroom is a non-flowering plant. But still, though it is a non-flowering plant, it is comparable to a vegetable. Why? Because it provides vitamins, provides antibiotics, it provides fibers, it provides minerals. And then, as Madam Sunita Madam was telling, it is also low-calorie food that is grown in the forest, in the kitchen garden material, etc. So basically, when you talk of mushroom, mushroom is not a flowering plant. We should realize that. Despite not being a flowering plant, it provides us a host of material. Through my slides, I'm presenting what are the host of material that it can provide to humanity, to mankind. Okay, so this is the structure that you can see. This is called the fruit body. This is a life cycle, how it grows and how it produces the fruit body. And this is the portion that we consume. This is the edible part of the fungus called mushroom. And this is mushroom that is already umbrella shaped structure. So therefore, we consume this particular part of this fungi. What are the advantages of mushroom? Why are we in studying mushrooms, trying to cultivate them, do farming with mushrooms? I have 5 very important points. Number one is, this mushroom, which is called the plant body, is called thallus, is non-green. It recycles the forest floor, degrades all the material that falls onto the forest floor. Being a fungus, it will recycle the forest floor with minerals. Second very important thing is, it produces millions of spores. Millions of spores. These millions of spores, the turnover is very high. The million spores, when they fall onto the surface of the earth or a plant material or a dead material, they grow into a mycelium, and then they produce a fruit body, what we call as the mushroom. Another very important thing that we need to realize with mushroom is, mushroom lifespan is very, very short compared to a tree, a herb, or a fruit tree. Very, very short. And usually trees will give us secondary metabolites. But mushroom, which is very short lifespan, provides us a good number of secondary metabolites. You cannot compare a mushroom with a tree. But still, mushroom, which is very humble, it can provide us secondary metabolites. I will tell you in the lecture what are those secondary metabolites it starts to produce. Second and fourth, very important is, from a biotechnological point of view or from a fermentation point of view, I would say that the fruit body is an ideal bioreactor system. We can use it as a bioreactor for bioconversion of plant material to useful material, industrial material. And the last one is, plant body is thallus, and it is also ideal to produce edible vaccines. So far, we have been discussing about potato, banana, and other material which have been higher plants, where we say that they can be used to produce vaccines. But I would suggest that the thallus component, the plant body that we are looking at, is itself a very good system for developing edible vaccine, for engineering edible vaccines. Maybe in future, maybe in time to come, when students and research scholars start to on this particular aspect, maybe we'll be able to get vaccines from a mushroom. Okay, so this is a history of mushrooms. What exactly was mushroom 5,000 years ago? It is given for food, for medicine, for spiritual edification, and for various other things. And then 4,000 years ago, Aryans used this Vedic juice called somarasa. It was extracted from this mushroom, and they believed that are a very important component of our medicine and other aspects of it. As on today, about 30,000 mushrooms are present worldwide. 30,000 is a huge number. Of these, 99% are safe for consumption. They're edible. Maybe 1% is poisonous, but 99% are very safe and edible, right? So, and then there is more space for undiscovering mushroom species across our country. We have a lot more to be done in our country to identify mushrooms, and then to identify, classify, give them a taxonomy position, and also give them a name. This has to be worked out. So there is a good scope for researchers to work on mushrooms. So these are this picture, which how many varieties of mushrooms are available in the world, and all of them are umbrella shape, and this is the picture of that. Okay, now I have classified mushrooms into maybe 5-6 types. First one is called edible mushroom. Okay, second is the medicinal mushroom. Third is a poisonous mushroom. Fourth is a spiritual mushroom. Fifth is a bioluminescent mushroom, and the last is the genetically engineered mushroom. So edible mushrooms are very common. All of us know that we use the button mushroom, the oyster mushroom as food, and it actually started in Japan, where they call it as omai, where they have a pleasant, savory taste. So that is how mushrooms have become very popular as food supplements, or as a savory taste for food supplements. The second is the medicinal aspect. I'm not going to discuss much on edible mushroom, but I can show you some pictures of that. Right. Then the second one is the medicinal mushroom, Ganoderma species, very huge pharmaceutical value. A lot of research has to be undertaken in this particular mushroom. And then we have poisonous mushrooms. There are toxic mushrooms. They produce toxins, and they can kill an adult. All biology students, when they look at alpha amanita, it is the inhibitor of RNA polymerase. So it's a very important mushroom, and it's the amanita phyloides. Then we have spiritual mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, which help in spiritual bliss. We have bioluminescent mushrooms, Rhoridimyces, Phyllostachides. This is the first genus fungus discovered from India, fungus that is discovered from India. Then the genetically engineered mushrooms, as I've told you, Okay, right. Yeah. So far I have discussed about the edible mushrooms, and then this is one very important area that we need to promote edible mushrooms as much as, and then food, our diet definitely should contain mushrooms, right? The second type of mushroom is called medicinal mushroom. Why we are interested in medicinal mushrooms is, as I've again told you, mushrooms are not equivalent to the plants that we think of, like herbs, shrubs, trees, fruit trees, etc. They're not equivalent to them, but still they have antioxidant, they're antimicrobial, anti-cancer property. They can lower the cholesterol. Okay, then they have immunostimulatory effect, and then I was reading a paper on medicinal components of mushroom. Lot of work is going on in the Western world where they are trying to find out if we can get another antibiotic, which will, which is not from, which is not becoming, bacteria not becoming resistant to that. We know that antibiotics were first discovered in a fungi, Penicillium notatum. Now people are interested that this fungi, that mushroom, also may be responsible for providing us with another antibiotic that would be easy in the hands of doctors, medical doctors, where we can prescribe. So there is a good scope for mushrooms having some bioactive substances that can have therapeutic value. So I will put you some of those examples, like mushrooms have antibacterial activity. This has been worked out. Lefamulin is the therapeutic molecule that is antibacterial. Antiviral, ganomycins A and B from Ganoderma fiferi. This is also worked out in 2013. Then we have a fungicide also, an antifungal compound called strorobulurin from this particular mushroom, and this is used as antifungal agent, or you call it as fungicide. In veterinary science also, we also have some bacterial antibacterial compounds isolated from these mushrooms. Thiamulin is one such compound, therapeutic molecule, one such chemical molecule that is being available for treatment of animals and treatment of cattle. So antibacterial. So we have therapeutic molecules already being worked out from mushrooms, right? Then Journal of Antibiotics, as I've been telling you, Journal of Antibiotics has published a paper in 2020. The South American Indians used psilocybe species. This is for psychiatric function. And then some tasty foods are also available. The traditional Asian medicine, that is Ganoderma, which is a wood-inhabiting mushroom, it produces oxygenated triterpenoid. So you have some medicinal properties for that. Then Isaka et al., Ganoderma species, they have produced 10 new lanostains which have anti-malarial activity. And then Phallus luteus has phthalic acid A and phthalic acid B, which are in edible mushrooms. Then in Ridwan, this comes under poison. I'll come to it later on. So what I'm trying to tell you is, mushrooms are not just for food. They also possess a lot of medicinal properties. Pharmaceutically important compounds are there, and antibiotics is one such that people are trying to explore into this. Here, this is Ganoderma lucidum. Ganoderma lucidum has effect on tumor, effect on hepatitis B. It can substitute insulin, effect on hypertension, lowers blood pressure, effect on wound healing, liver protection and detoxification, also effect on cardiovascular situation. So Ganoderma is a medicinal mushroom where we can really look into this also after these medicinal properties are identified. Okay, right. More than 270 recognized species of mushrooms are known to have specific immunotherapeutic proteins. 15 non-toxic mushroom species yield potential immunosensuals in vitro condition. 6 species have been studied in human cancer. So this is another very important area where we need. The only problem that we have is most of them are under clinical trials. We need to have more clinical trials to be undertaken on this particular aspect. So we have preliminary published data on hepatitis C and other viral diseases. More high quality studies are needed to confirm species, doses, dosage, scope of activity, and the safety norms for particular mushrooms which are medicinally important. The third one is this poisonous mushroom, Amanita phalloides. Okay, it's the most dangerous mushroom from New Zealand. The toxic concentration is highest in the mushroom that is annulus, gills, volva, the cap, the stalk one. These are the things that we can see that the toxins are present. Mature mushrooms are more toxic than immature mushrooms. One cap can kill an adult. One cap of this mushroom. Then spores are toxic. We have to wash hands after we handle Amanita phalloides. So what I'm trying to tell you is we do have poisonous mushrooms also. And most of the poisonous mushrooms that we see are beautifully colored, well ornamented and very beautifully colored. So it attracts. Everybody assumes that it is a mushroom which can be edible. No, these are beautifully colored, well ornamented. I think we have to look at them very thoroughly before we pick them up. Then the fourth one is the spiritual mushrooms, right? The psychedelic mushrooms, psilocybe galindoi is one of the rituals to connect with spiritual plane and the wisdom of gods. It is one of the several magic mushroom varieties known to mass texts as Tionanacat, which roughly translates flesh of the gods. This mushroom also became to be known as P. galindoi in the honor of Carlos Galindoi Arias, who introduced the species to the modern world. So mushrooms have also a spiritual aspect, a spiritual dimension into them. Then we have this Rishi, the queen of immortality. It has been used as a medicinal mushroom for over 2,000 years in various medicinal systems such as Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine. Hailed as a herb of spiritual potency, it embodies well-being, vitality, and also longevity. Yeah, the fifth one is this bioluminescent mushrooms. Bioluminescent mushrooms. So far, we have been very much keen in trying to study mushrooms only on the aspect of its food. But there is also the other aspect where mushrooms become bioluminescent. They will give this luminescence in the night when we look them in the night. So the one that you see is Roridomyces, Roridos, Mycena chlorophyll. These are the two mushrooms that are bioluminescent. Right now, it is called as oxyluciferin. So these oxyluciferin or mushrooms, luciferin light-emitting compounds are found in animals and plants to attract insects. So here also, in this case also, the bugs then help spread the spores and to the other parts of the forest. Thereby, the mushroom species survives. So this is one mechanism of what you call as sustaining of these mushrooms, which are very important in the forest floor. Right. So the last one that I would be discussing is there are some studies which show that we can genetically engineer mushrooms. So you are dealing with a situation where it is a haploid plant. It's not a diploid plant, it's a haploid plant. So engineering a haploid plant is a very difficult task. From my experience, you can very easily engineer a dicot plant, a monocot plant through your agrobacterium tumefaciens. But here are examples. Watanabe, he used this terpene cyclase COP6 of Coprinus cinerea, what is the use of this is he has produced 50-fold increase in this lagopodin in this particular expression system. Then Hofmeister in 2020, what he said is polyketide synthase from Lithoporus sulfuris. He has isolated this gene, he has introduced this gene into Aspergillus nidulans and Aspergillus niger, and as a result, he got a mixture of lithoporic acids. So this is a heterologous expression. So from my standpoint of view, I also believe that mushrooms are good candidates for producing edible vaccines. Mushrooms could be a very good system to offer us for producing edible vaccines in the days to come or in the future to come, right? So the today's take-home message is our country is a great country endowed with all biological resources. Our country is rich in biological resources, biodiverse. So students and participants can become entrepreneurs in augmenting biological resources, especially organic farming and mushroom farming. Younger generations need to enter into R&D of plants, animals, and also the environmental pollution that is around us. There is a great deal of research and exploration to be undertaken in mushroom study for production of novel antibiotics, therapeutic proteins, and also recombinant protein. So at the end of this lecture, I would suggest to the participants that mushrooms themselves are a good candidate also used for food, but also they can be used for developing good biological resources for developing antibiotics or for developing therapeutics or for developing recombinant protein. So I gratefully acknowledge the patron, Sri M. Srinivas Reddy, who is the principal of GDC for Women, JAGTIAL, the co-patrons, Dr. Masroor Sultana, she is the vice principal, Dr. Harjot Kaur Madam, IQAC coordinator, course coordinator, Sri Padala THIRUPATHI, assistant professor of botany, then the organizing committee, Dr. Jyoti Lakshmi, Dr. M. Madhukar, Dr. Ms. Srimati T. Swaruparani, Sri M. A. Rahim, Sri M. Surya Prakash, Srimati G. Manasa, Srimati Rajini, Sri Rapati Srinivas, Sri GVR Madhukar, and also the advisory committee, Srimati D. Sunita, Srimati E. Jyotsna, Srimati V. Jamuna, Srimati R. Madhavi, Srimati Yasmin Sultana, Srimati Arshia Sultana, Sri S. Satyam, senior lecturer in the computer department, Sri G. Tirupati, and also I'm grateful to the resource persons, Dr. Parvati, Dr. Madhukar, Dr. Kavita Madam, and Dr. Rajini Madam for sparing their time to train these students, these participants these coming days, because it is going to be useful for their life. And the last slide is caution. Third wave of COVID-19 is at the doorsteps. Death lingers in the hospital. So get vaccinated, stay home, and stay safe. Thank you so much. Yeah, Tirupati.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Your session is very enlightened, sir. So all the participants, more than 252 participants, they are registered, sir. So due to some internet interruptions, only 80 students they are joined, sir. Your valuable lecture, our today's resource persons and eminent personalities and dignitaries of different states of our country, they are enlightened regarding of your lecture, sir. Based on your lecture, in these 30 days, definitely we will enlighten as early as much of my knowledge and resource persons cooperation. We definitely reach the destination, sir. And also with your support and encouragement, we will going to organize some more important and useful and contemporary issue based webinars and also certification course and workshops also, sir. Just because of you, sir. Thank you very much. And your session is never forgettable, sir. And over to Sunita Madam Garu.
Any questions? I can take any questions.
Okay, okay.
Anybody can ask.
Okay, okay. Our sir is very delightful to ready to give your questions or answer. Please, all the participants, unmute yourself. And if you have any doubts regarding of this today's session and today's and the 30 days certification course, please you ask any queries. Dr. Sudhir Kumar, sir. Anybody?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please, you can ask me a question.
I have listened to the lecture. It is very
Yes,
nice and very informative. But I need to know how to get registered into this.
So no problem, sir. I will send in this chat box, sir. I will send this chat box. Definitely you will register. No problem, sir. You are from, sir? You
I
are
am from Guntur, sir.
Guntur. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Definitely we will send, sir. Shivarani. Shivarani, Madam Garu.
Sir, I am also not registered, sir. How to register, sir?
No problem, madam. I will just a few seconds. I will send in this chat box. Please you
Okay,
click that link and register. No problem.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any queries?
Excuse me, sir. Myself, Dr. Rajni Jain. Am I audible, sir?
yes,
Yeah.
madam. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for this very informative lecture. I want to ask one question. Can we identify poisonous and edible fungi from their external morphology?
It's very difficult, madam. But
Okay.
Usually the mostly colored ones, which are brightly colored, are poisonous.
Okay, sir. Okay.
The one which is pale or not very much ornamented, those are not poisonous. But still, a word of caution is, it has to be verified with a taxonomist or with a person who is dealing with this mushroom study, because we cannot make any risk in this selection.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Christopher, sir, your lecture was very nice, sir. We are very
Thank you,
proud.
sir.
But because of this COVID, at least we could gain some knowledge from you and from such a nice person and so much experienced person we are hearing. It is really God bless, I think so. So that we got an opportunity to hear your lecture, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else, please? Yeah, Tirupati?
Sir.
Over to you. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Your valuable time for us, definitely we will utilize, sir. Definitely this pandemic situation, with your encouragement in these 30 days, definitely we will successfully conduct it without any interruption. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Okay, Tirupati. See you again. Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Over to Sunita, madam.
Okay, sir, I'm audible.
Yeah, you are audible, Sunita, madam.
Okay. Okay, now good afternoon, everyone. Over here, now our honorable today's speaker, Professor T. Christopher Reuben, Department of Biotechnology, Dean Faculty of Science, Commerce and Social Science, Chaitanya deemed to EB University, Warangal. And we are very glad, sir, for receiving your lecture about the mushroom cultivation. Unlike plants, mushroom cultivation is an indoor activity. It is possible to grow mushrooms in a particular season under natural conditions. And it is possible to grow mushrooms throughout the year under controlled conditions. An additional advantage is that very less land is required for growing mushrooms. The mushrooms are widely known for their great taste and amazing health benefits. And mushrooms are popular in kitchen around the world. So we are very glad to listen all these information about the mushroom cultivation. And and now I'm very glad to give my vote of thanks. Uh, and today our respected chairperson, principal, Mr. Srinivas Reddy sir, and our beloved vice principal, ma'am, Mushroom Sultana, ma'am Garu, and IQAC coordinator, Dr. Harjot Kaur, ma'am, and my dear faculty members and respected professor and all dear participants. And it is an honor for me to have the opportunity to give a vote of thanks on this special day. I, on behalf of the Government Degree College Women JAGTIAL, extends a heartily vote of thanks to all delegates of this uh, 1 month national e-certificate course on mushroom cultivation, and for their presence and contribution to make this seminar, make this day, the program, very exemplary. And thank you for inspiring and encouraging us with your words on this special day, sir. And I'm not forget to say my warm special thanks to our respectable principal and all our faculty members and providing the support to make this program successful. I must not forget to thank the organizing team and our technical team for working hard for the last few days to make this seminar success, make this today seminar like program one day the certificate program successful. And I congratulate all the participants for their active participation. And thank you everyone once again for making it a very grand, wonderful success. Thank you and